So, I know it's been a while. I know it's been a while, but I can explain why. So, there will be a timestamp in either the description or in a pinned comment showing where you can start. It will start after this, and it will start after the edited scene because I don't want people getting copyright claimed. But yeah, it's been a while. I had school, which took. I am a full time student and a full time employee. So my time really isn't that large. I don't really have a lot of time. So something had to give, and YouTube gave. So I know it's been a while, but we do have some interesting things to talk about. So, first, I am finally out of school. Yay. So that means that I can actually record and actually do things. So that means that I will make this. I hope that I can keep this promise. There will be one video every week, and I will try to get two up. But if I can't, there will also be something else. I will be starting live streams every Tuesday. I looked at everyone's schedules when it came to streams, and Tuesdays were free. So I decided to take those. They will be from at Tuesdays, starting at 7, and this won't be just salt streams. This may be something else like gameplay, or it may be just me wanting to hang out. Other than that, I'm also going to see if people would want a Discord. So I will actually make a poll after this video goes live. If people want to have a Discord, vote in the community tab in polls, and there will be a poll depending on the outcome of this. I will create a Discord, though it may also be early. Along with that, I would like to announce this. I will be on Des's stream this Sunday at, I believe, 10 o'clock Central, and I will be doing Salt Bingo. If you want to go over to his channel and check that out, I will also be thanking him because he gave me a generous shout out. Thank you, Des. And that will also be linked in a community post when we go live, which I know a lot of you are Des viewers, so thank you. But we will be doing Salt Bingo on Harmon Smith, which is going to be interesting because if I lose on the next Tuesday, I will have to stream an hour of Harmon Smith reactions. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. It will be 10 p.m. Central Time, right after our stream. If you want to head over and check it out, go ahead. If not, the VOD will be uploaded, and if I lose, you will be seeing a thumbnail and title come out right afterwards. So yes, and also I will be saying this on Wednesday, June 11th, I will be streaming Stellar Blade on PC. So we're going to have a fun time with that. I'm going to be very happy. I'm going to be a very happy gooner. But yeah, so I know you've been waiting for this video. You're going to have to wait a little bit longer. We have the edit that you have already seen since it's been up for like a month. But other than that, just doing some house cleaning. So videos will be up every week. I won't have a set schedule, but I will try and get one up at least by Wednesday of every week. It won't be Harmon every week. I'll probably do some other things. I want to do a video on Switch Force. I want to do a video on Nintendo Prime. I want to do some videos on, of course, Reforge. But yeah, we'll be doing that. I will be streaming every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. And, of course, go check out Dez's stream where I will be there and we'll be doing Salt Bingo. Alright, let's get into the Salt content, everybody. Let's go! So Harmon Smith decided to be annoying once again and decided to be an absolute idiot. And I know this is long overdue, but blame school, blame work. I don't get paid to do this. I do this for fun. So we're going to go and watch some Harmon Smith videos about Expedition 33, and I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
We all know that Expedition 33 isn't relevant. It won't be remembered. Nobody cares about it. It's just a stereotypical example of some random flavor of the month game that's basically just picked out of a hat to promote and try and distract people from the games that people are actually playing on Nintendo Hard. Right? This has been like a tale as old as time. We've seen this happen like time and time again over the past couple of years. But like Expedition 33 is really interesting because this is a title that has sold significantly less than most. It basically doesn't even like exist outside of Twitter, right?
I can immediately disprove that because my brother is completely off of Twitter. He does not have a Twitter account. He does not have any of that. And he's playing this game. So, Harmon, this is just you being a fucking idiot. But let's go with the fact that it hasn't sold well. It has sold well, especially for a game that, one, is on Game Pass. Yes, Game Pass does cannibalize a certain amount of sales, especially for sales for games that people don't really want, that they don't really want to buy. So you're going to have a bunch of people, like my brother, who's only playing this game because it's on Game Pass. Fuck. I need to get water. I need to get water. That's in and out. But you have all those people. It's already sold 2 million copies. Is the last time that we've seen that, and that does not include Game Pass numbers. So this game has done really well, especially for Sandfall's first game. It is also a $50 game, which means a lot, especially with games being $60 and $70, and Nintendo trying to push the $80 games, which we're going to see next year a lot more $8 games. I'm surprised that Madden and FIFA and 2K did not go $80 this year. But Harmon's obviously complaining because he does not have any Nintendo games to play. Because the last major first-party Nintendo game to release on the Switch that is new to the Switch was Mario & Luigi Brothership, which, let's be honest, it did not sell well. It sold less than what Expedition 33 sold in the first 2 weeks. It sold less than that. So, yeah. If you're going to say this shit, Harmon, say it in a way without trying to... Fuck, this is all getting cut out. Or I'm not gonna cut it out since I really need to get this video out. It's been so fucking long. But you are trying to make this claim about Expedition 33 when you're not even seeing in your own court that you have a game that sold less than it. So, Harmon, you're just doing this because you don't like the fucking game. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Alright.
Like, oh, it sold 2 million units. Like, okay. Like, outsold by Hollow Knight. Okay, but it's like, it's just a complete and total joke. This game isn't going anywhere. It's not going to be some new like brand IP, but like people have been shilling it religiously for the past couple of weeks because like they just don't have anything else, right? And it's already faded from public consciousness. But the thing that really gets me about it, the thing that gets my goat about it, is that like we saw a similar situation a couple of years ago with the release of Black Myth Wukong.
So, we had Baldur's Gate 3. Now we have Black Myth Wukong. Harmon, these are not funny, these are not interesting, this is just you being apparently retarded. Let's be honest. Let's be apparent. You are just being extremely apparently retarded right now. But you saying that it didn't sell 2 million units when you've been shilling for Mario and Luigi Brothership, which barely sold 1.5 million. It barely sold that. So, you say this without looking at your own court. And even then, it was all sold by Hollow Knight, when Hollow Knight has sold a ridiculous amount of units. And Hollow Knight is also on we don't like that. Hollow Knight is also on multiple platforms. It's a multi-platform game. We're looking up. We're looking up sales numbers right now. 2.8 million. But it sold 6.4 million copies on Steam alone. So, I'd say Hollow Knight has done very well. But Expedition 33, a lot of people are saying that it's an amazing game because, one, it is. And two, because it represents something. It represents a team of developers that were at either new devs or they were previous devs at AAA games, AAA studios, and it's basically just a statement from a lot of the community that we want games like this. We want passion in games again, not just the same regular slot that we get from Ubisoft, that we get from EA, that we get from Sony, that we get from some Microsoft studios. They've actually been doing really good as of recently with games like Avowed, with Oblivion Remaster, and with Doom the Dark Ages. So you're focusing in on this one thing, the sales numbers of the game, when even in your own camp, that's impressive in your own camp. And two, you're just complaining about the game because it's not on your precious Nintendo platform. So, let's be honest, have you played the game? I'm hoping that you have played the game, because if you haven't played the game, that's going to be a really big problem. And it's going to be very apparent.
Right. A game from Tencent in which, you play as the legendary Monkey King in like some Dark Souls knockoff, right? People said that this was some major phenomenon, this was some huge deal, that this was like gonna be some like genre defining thing, and it just wasn't, like the game was one of the most like blatantly AstroTurf things I think I've seen in a long time. The claim was that like it sold like 20 million units or something, and that it was this extremely popular like anti-woke thing that was somehow like anti-gaming establishment, and it just wasn't, like it wasn't a good game, it wasn't worth talking about. You can't even argue that like, well, at least it's a new IP because it's Journey to the West. I know most people aren't like high enough IQ to know what Journey to the West is.
The irony of Harmon saying that when his IQ is single digits. Let's be honest, Harmon, your IQ is in the single digit range. But he keeps saying AstroTurf. AstroTurf is basically just fake support of a game or a franchise or a political movement or something like that, which in this context really doesn't make any sense. I mean, Harmon doesn't usually make sense, but it doesn't even make any more sense. And even at that, when you add in the fact that Harmon is trying to say that Black Myth Wukong was AstroTurf's when the game did very well. It sold 20 million units. A lot of them were in China. It completely obliterated Steam records with the most concurrent players of all time, not just for single player game, but for all time. It was a huge success. It was a huge phenomenon. People are still talking about it when it comes to like if there's going to be a Switch 2 ports, when the Series S and X port come out. Are those gonna come out? Was it money handed by Microsoft, not Microsoft, but Sony? Like, this entire thing of him trying to say that Black Myth Wukong was astroturfed is just an idiocy. And again, do I have to bring up the fucking Screen Rant article where they gave the game a lower score just because there wasn't that many women in it? Do I have to bring that up? Fuck it, we're bringing it up. We're bringing it up. Yeah, for some reason the fucking games media hated this game. We don't know why, but for some reason they hated this game. They hated its guts. So yeah, let's see what else Harman has to say, because hopefully he stays on topic. Hopefully he continues to talk about Expedition 33. And hopefully he's actually played both games. My hopes are not high.
Or like, its significance to Chinese film. But like, it's an adaptation of an already existing thing. That'd be like if I said like Hogwarts Legacy was a new IP, right? Like, oh man, this Hogwarts place seems pretty cool. They should write an entire book series about it. But like, anyway, I was probably one of the only people like openly speaking out about Black Myth Wukong when it came out, how forgettable it was, how it was like clearly astroturfed, how like people like Angry Joe were clearly being paid to promote it as like the greatest thing ever. Like, those warnings went ignored, and the game came out, like people hyped it up for a couple of weeks, and then by the end of the year it was completely forgotten, right? Like nobody remembered Black Myth Wukong, okay? And now in 2025, you're starting to see people like go back and say that like, wow, like Black Myth Wukong, that really wasn't very good.
So have you played the game? Have you played the game? Because like I played the game, it wasn't my type of thing. And also I won Space Marine 2. I wanted to play that with my brother, so I refunded Black Myth, got Space Marine 2, and had a much better time with that game. But you're trying to say that the game was going to be terrible. When it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. It was a good game. I'd say it was a good game. Harman's idiocy just gets to me. It just gets to me and makes me question. Then I make 50-minute long videos on his idiocy because I just destroy every point. I've gone on a tangent. Fuck. But he keeps trying to say that Black Myth Wukong was just dropped off a cliff when, one, we're still waiting for content. There's supposed to be DLC coming out, and there is no DLC coming out. There's not been a release date. We don't know anything. Probably we'll learn something at Summer Games Fest. But what Harman's trying to do is trying to put like, oh, the game is terrible, by one, not showing the actual, like, how long it's been since the game came out. It's barely been a year. It's barely been 6 months. But Harman doesn't care about that, so he's gonna say this shit and acts like, oh, it's been such a long time. Black Myth Wukong came out in, I think, September. It came out in September. Came out in September. It's barely been 6 months. I don't even think it's been 6 months. But this is just general Harman. And again, Harman, clean your fucking cum chalice. Why the fuck is it not cleaned? But let's continue on with it, because I this point, I'm just fucking done with it. I fucking hate this video. I'm done with it.
Yeah, like you're seeing people point out what was very obvious to your buddy Harmon Smith is that like Black Myth Wukong had no staying power. It wasn't relevant. It wasn't something that people actually cared about, that people don't actually want to play or like want to revisit or actually want to see more of in the studio, right? It was just another flavor of the month game. So Expedition 33 is not only cut from the same cloth, I would argue it's just the French equivalent. Because like, you know, like Black Myth Wukong had like the 10-cent, like the backing of the CCP behind it. It was like some major propaganda thing. Like, it seems like Expedition 33 is trying to do the same thing, but with like none of the budget and like none of the ability to like even trick people for even like a couple of days that this is somehow like some relevant, like super. It's embarrassing, honestly, how quickly this game fell off. And but like, I have to ask the question, like, why did it become a thing to begin with? You know, like this is my thing. You know, my thing after like seeing Expedition 33 like be propped up and then just completely forgotten about until it just completely collapsed. Like, here's my thing. Okay, if you're gonna hype up a video game, you're gonna have to convince me that it's better than Nintendo games. Like, that's the reality of it. Like, if it's not as good as a Nintendo game, like, why would I care? I would rather just play the Nintendo game. Like, if you deliberately, like, don't talk about the upcoming Nintendo games, if you don't talk about the Nintendo hardware, and then go around and say that, like, well, Expedition 33 is the game of the year, like, to me, that just means you don't know what you're talking about, right? If you're the kind of person who says that, like, Celeste is, like, a better...
To you said the key word right there. To you. Harmon, you're a special kind of retarded that I don't think most people understand. The special kind of retardation is saved for a small few, where those people literally have little to no brains. And that's what you are, Harmon. You are a speck of dust that has your head is full of dust. And when you shake it, all that comes out is dust. So, yeah. You say that, oh, if they don't talk about the fucking Nintendo hardware, why does it matter? Because that's what matters to you, you fucking dumb fuck. You know what matters to me? How's the gameplay? How's the story? How are the characters? Well, the characters are freaking fantastic. The gameplay is refined and tight and precise. The story is excellent. Then yeah, I'm gonna play it. And this game is on par with Xenoblade 3, my favorite game of all time. That just so happens to be a Nintendo game, which, let's be honest, you wouldn't give a shit about if the Nintendo name wasn't on it. That's how much that you don't care about the fucking series. But that modifier, to you, to me, it's what matters to you, what matters to you. Because what matters to you does not matter to me. And what matters to me doesn't matter to Gara. And what matters to Gara doesn't matter to Spec. What matters to Spec doesn't matter to Alex. And what matters to Alex doesn't matter to Dez. We all have different modifiers and different reasons and different scales for quality. It's just some of us don't care if someone else has a different definition of quality than the other. You do. think that every person has to have the same definition of quality as you. That's not how fucking humans work. That's not how people work. That's not how anything works. Everyone has different opinions with different ideologies, different religions, and different political ideas. And different ideas just about gaming itself. And yet you want everyone to care about what you care about. You want everyone to only care about Nintendo, to only play games on Nintendo platforms, when that isn't the case. That isn't the case, Harmon. But who knows? Maybe you played the game. I'm hoping that you played the game because you made multiple videos on the fucking game. So you have to have played the game to have such a strong opinion of it, right? Right?
2D platformer that anything Nintendo has ever made, or that like Undertale isn't plagiarized, or that like Stardew Valley isn't just a ripoff of Harvest Moon. Like, if you're the kind of person who believes that, then like I absolutely 100% would never listen to you under any circumstances. There is no gaslighting Harmon Smith into buying Expedition 33. And what's more is that, like, people keep saying that, like, well, you're just upset that it's not on Switch. Like, what happens when it actually comes out on Switch? What's gonna happen when it actually comes out on Switch? It's going to get buried by all of the better games from Nintendo, not only in my library, but in everyone else's too. Like, nobody's gonna care about Expedition 33 when it comes to Switch 2. Like, just like nobody's gonna care about Black Myth Wukong or Elden Ring when they get ported over, right? Just like nobody cared about Deltarune when that got announced,
So you didn't play the game. Okay, you didn't play the game. I want everyone in the audience to understand this about Harmon. Harmon is someone that thinks that the way that he thinks is the only way that you should think. So when you look at Harmon, what he wants. Can you go away, please? I may be going crazy from this fucking video, but I swear I hear someone just revving their motorcycle outside. Okay, back to the fucking train of thought. What Harmon wants is for everyone to think the way that he does and basically believe what he does. Which isn't the case. Most people don't care about Nintendo games. I know that that's a shock to you, Harmon, but it's not a shock to me. As someone who was formerly a Nintendo fanboy, most people don't give a shit about Nintendo games. The ones that do either really like the series, grew up with the series, or, let's be honest, are children. Or are like you, who are man-children. But then you have normal fucking people that see, oh look, a Mario game. I remember Mario, let me go play Mario. They will do that. But most adults grew out of Nintendo games. They grew out of Nintendo games and are now looking for something more mature. So they will go to something else. Yes, they may go to the Xenoblade series, they may go and play some Fire Emblem games, but some people don't like the anime art style. So then you see Expedition 33, and it's this very mature game. It's this very interesting game with different themes, and doesn't have an anime art style, which could turn people off. So you know what? They buy it. They play it. They love it. They tell their friends. They go out and buy it. Or they go to Game Pass and play it. And they love it, and the cycle fucking repeats. your modifiers is that you don't like anything indie either. When most of the best experiences from gaming of the last, I'd say, 10 years have been from indie games. From Undertale to Ultra Kill to Expedition 33 is technically indie, I'd say, to Sifu to Hollow Knight. These games are incredible and have made their marks on gaming as a whole. But you think that those games are worse just because they copied and they are very inspired by Nintendo franchises. For some reason you have a massive hate boner for Toby Fox. I don't have the energy to get mad at you because I've had to do this video and re-record it 9 times. I've had to re-record this video 9 times. I don't care at this point. All you're doing is just having the incessant ramblings of someone who is borderline schizophrenic and who is borderline insane. You are having the ramblings of somebody that is unwell, of someone that cares so much about a corporation and about a series of games, that cares so much about a plastic box, that he will go out of his way to make up stories and fabricate things in your head that never happened just to prove points that you think are correct. There is no joking in my voice. Harmon, you are seriously unwell. I don't know if it's all the grease that you put in your fucking hair. I don't know if it's all the fumes that you smoke to actually comprehend what the hell your fucking mind does. I don't know if it's the shit that you watch, but you are actually unwell. Because no normal, rational human being acts this way. No one acts this way. You didn't even play the fucking game. And yet you made 4 videos on the fucking game. You made 4 videos on Expedition 33 and you didn't even play it. Crab was fucking right about you. Crab was fucking right about you. All you're doing is just trying to do engagement farming. That's all you're trying to do. And at this point, I just see through it. Because you're just a sad human being. That at the end of the day, while everyone else has a family, has lives, you're still going to be in the same basement, making videos on how X game is worse than your precious Nintendo game. How Toby Fox is a fraud. How FromSoft is dead. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to be in your 70s and then realize that you wasted your fucking life. I want you to remember this fucking monologue because I'm telling you exactly what's going to happen. You are going to be 70, sitting on that chair, alone in your house, and you're going to be a sad old man that fulfilled nothing in your life. And there's nothing that you can do about it because you're already on this path.
least relevant release game launch title on the Switch 2, by the way. Like nobody cares about this AstroTurf slot, you know? Like that's kind of my feeling on it. Like Expedition 33, you can meme all you want, like saying that, like, oh, this is better than Final Fantasy in its prime, you know what's also better than Final Fantasy in its prime? Fire Emblem. You know what's also better than Final Fantasy in its prime? Like Dragon Quest. You know what's also better? Like Pokemon. Games that are so much more relevant than anything the Expedition 33 devs have ever or ever will done. Like, if Expedition 33 isn't better than all of that, then I have no interest in it. Like, none.
You didn't even give the game a try. You didn't even give the game a glance. You didn't even give the game like just anything. You saw that it was popular and just decided to shit on it because people were saying that it was better than your precious Nintendo games. You see what I mean by you being sad? By you being a stain on the world, and not in the good way of being a stain that changed the world. You are a stain on the world because you do nothing. You just leech off of what's popular. You just leech off of what you think people are going to like. People are going to get mad at. All you are is just a sad man. That's all you are. That's all you are. It's just a sad man-child that never grew up. That hides in his closet. That hides in the shed in his... Somehow. I don't know where the fuck you live. I don't give a shit where you live. But you're just a sad man-child. And you failed at everything. And now you have to make up stories just to succeed. I almost feel sorry for you, Harman. Keyword being almost. Did I remember all the shit that you did? I remember the fact that you tried to call out Gar and Alex. I remember the fact that you made a PDF book that you sexualized a 17-year-old. Yeah, that 17-year-old may have been a fictional character, but that's still a 17-year-old. You are a stain upon the world, and the only reason that you haven't been wiped up is for our amusement. Is so that we can all shit on you collectively. That's all you are. You're just entertainment to us. And you're not the entertainment part.
There is nothing you can do to make me like buy this game from French people. Like you're gonna have to they're gonna have to just surrender and give up, because there is just no swaying me from my perspective. I have been burned by too many French video games, specifically from Ubisoft, for too long for me to ever take this country seriously when it comes to their major milestone video games. Like, you are better off simply playing Nintendo games and being excited for upcoming Nintendo games and discovering old ones that you haven't played yet. There is no reason, none, to ever be excited about Expedition 33.
There is a reason to be excited for Expedition 33. Because Expedition 33 showcases that there is hope in the games industry. That there is still passion. That there are still companies and there are still devs that realize that people cannot afford games. That want to make games not a luxury. Like people like Reforged want, but instead make it accessible. Expedition 33 is hope. It's hope that the industry can become better. It's hope that without the binds that AAA gaming brings, that those devs, those creators, can flourish. It is a showcase of that. You judge a whole company based on one. You judge a whole country based on one company's output. That's the equivalent of saying, I don't like Japan because I love communism. And I'm never going to touch a single Japanese thing. I came into this recording thinking I was going to shit all over it. But I've just been calm. Because at this point, all I want you to do is disappear. Stop fucking uploading and actually get a goddamn life. Because then, you may actually fucking change. You may actually get better, and you may actually learn that you are a fucking man-child. But that wasn't gonna happen, was it? That wasn't gonna happen. Now, I know it's been 8 months. I know that y'all really... I know that I promised a Harman vid. Here's the Harman vid. This is not how I wanted it to go. This is not how I thought it was going to go. But if you had to deal with all the shit that I had to deal with this fucking video, you would understand, yeah. So, it's the end of the video. You made it. Welcome. I know I upload long videos, but